was missing for 5 days. It's even brought veteran cops to tears.
We are the proud papas of a little girl. This is Shannon Lee Dedrick. We found her safe. We do not usually get the happy endings that we have that happened here today. If you want to see a bunch of grown men cry, tonight when we rushed her to the hospital and we was all calling home to our wives to let them know we found this baby safe.
Yes, tears of joy, happy ending in Chipley, Florida. But it's also frightening. Cops say they found baby Shannon Dedrick lying in a 2-by-3-foot cedar box shoved under a bed, stashed there for 12 hours. The babysitter/aunt is charged in this. She has a violent criminal past. And now we're hearing, just hours ago, cops filed charges against baby Shannon's mom, the one who reported her missing Halloween Day. Joining us to talk about this, Michelle Sagona, investigative journalist. First off, Michelle, how's baby doing? How's baby Shannon doing?
Baby is doing great, Mike, and this is awesome news.
Yeah.
They were able to locate her. Thankfully, they brought her right to the hospital, and she's healthy, she's happy, she is eating, she's laughing, she's doing really well. So that's the best news in all of this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Mike, though, more than 3,500 man-hours were spent trying to find baby Shannon after this sort of arrangement took place.
Okay, arrangement, because that's what, we hear these details and you're like, what?
Oh, yeah.
The babysitter/aunt and the moms involved here. Spell out what we know so far, Michelle.
This is what we know. We have a babysitter. Her name is Susan Baker, and all of this is according to investigators in the area. And then we have baby Shannon's mother. Apparently, they had some sort of meeting on October 30th in the late evening hours where they decided that Susan was going to take over custody of the child. And so at that point, they decided to have an arrangement around 1:30 in the morning on Halloween. And that's when the child was passed over. This is what investigators believe. And then a police report was filed by Shannon's mother. So the disturbing part in all of this, Mike, is that this family sat back and actually came forward and spoke out to the media while investigators and volunteers and people were combing the ground and, going through the sky and jumping on horses and doing everything that they could to try to find baby Shannon for all of those days before investigators got to this point to where they found her. And I can walk you through that also if you'd like.
Okay, well, let's hit all the major players. So you've got a mom transferring, well, I wouldn't say custody, that's a legal
Right,
term, but
that is a legal term.
You're talking about babysitter/aunt's going to take over. What about the father? Where's he? Is he involved in this as well?
Well, this is, investigators are trying to figure out his role as well. They did detain him last night. He was in questioning, then they did release him. From one of the investigators that I just spoke to very recently, what she told me is that, there could possibly be more charges filed in this. They're still trying to work out all the details. I do have a list of all of these charges according to an official press release at my website, michellesagona.com, on the Crime Wire, so everyone can take a look at that if you'd like.
Okay, well, let's... Okay, you'd mentioned it. We're talking about a 7-month-old locked in a cedar chest, 2x3,
Yes.
for about 12 hours. How are authorities able to find her under a bed?
Well, this is what happened. So they bring Susan Baker in for questioning. She sits down, she answers all of their questions, and they say, hey, would you mind if we went and took a look through your house? And Susan allegedly gave them permission. And so investigators went into the residence, they started searching around, and in less than 2 hours and combing through everything, they were able to find the child. Now, again, according to one of the public information officers that I spoke with probably 4 or 5 hours ago, what she told me was that they backed out. They received a search warrant. They went back in to gather more evidence. So they did find baby Shannon. She was underneath of a bed. She was, covered around and things, and they were able to bring her out and rush her to the hospital.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have more on this, and you're not going to believe the criminal past of this babysitter/aunt who was going to take over and raise little baby Shannon. It'll send chills down your spine, believe me. We'll have the latest on that. Also keeping you updated on the tragedy at Fort Hood.
Okay, just to clarify, Susan Baker is a step-aunt to Shannon. At least that's what has been reported, that Susan Baker is a step-aunt to Shannon, not blood-related. And I had not heard that Shannon's father was taken into custody and released, I had heard that James Baker, Susan's husband, was brought in and then released. So that's a little sketchy just yet about Shannon's father. I believe his name is Rusty Dedrick.